You know, cybersecurity has always been this cat and mouse game, right? But what happens when the mouse starts to think for itself? Yeah, we're not talking about your grandpa's digital tripwires anymore. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of AI-driven security. These are systems that don't just follow a set of rules, they actually learn, they adapt, and they hunt.
And just so you know where we're getting all this great info, this explainer is a deep dive into Part 7 of an absolutely incredible 15-part guide from the folks at Virtualization Options LLC. We're really zooming in on one key piece of the puzzle today, the brainpower behind these new ML-based security systems. So imagine this for a second. Your digital security guard, they're just drowning in a sea of false alarms. They are so busy chasing shadows that they don't even notice the real threat, a brand new, never-before-seen attack just strolling right through the front door. And this isn't just some hypothetical, it's the reality that has been crippling cybersecurity for years. And that brings us right to the core issue with, well, the old guard of security. These traditional systems, they just weren't built for the speed and the sheer complexity of the threats we're seeing today. They're exactly like that overwhelmed security guard, just trying to check a list of known bad guys while some clever new intruder walks right on by.
This slide really just nails the whole old versus new thing. On one side, you've got your rule-based systems, which are, let's be honest, basically a bouncer with a list. If your name isn't on the list of known troublemakers, you're not getting stopped. The problem? They can't spot a clever disguise, and this creates a ton of false alarms, which leads to something called alert fatigue, where your security analysts are just so overwhelmed they end up missing the real threats. But on the other side, you've got the AI detective. It doesn't have a list. It gets to know the regulars. It learns what normal looks like and flags anything or anyone that seems even a little bit out of place.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This quote from the source material really drives the point home. Analysts are drowning in false positives, and the old guard is just completely blind to new attacks. They're fighting yesterday's war, and they're losing.
So if the old guard is failing, who are you going to call? Well, you call in the AI detective, and this is where machine learning-based SIM systems come into play, offering a much smarter and more intuitive way to monitor and detect threats. So what is an ML-based SIM exactly? Well, it's not just an alarm system. It's more like a profiler. It watches everything. It learns the rhythm of your entire organization, and it builds this behavioral baseline. It knows what your teams do, how they work, and its real superpower, spotting the one little thing that's out of place. All right, so how does this AI detective actually pull it off? What's the magic here? Let's pop the hood and see what really makes it tick. So, a key tool in this detective's kit is something called UEBA. That's User and Entity Behavior Analytics. Just think of this as the AI creating a super detailed profile for every single person and every device on the network. It knows Bob from accounting always logs in from 9 to 5 and only ever looks at financial spreadsheets. So if Bob suddenly logs in at 3 a.m. from a totally new country and starts trying to download the developer's source code, yeah, the alarm bells are going to go off. Big time. Now this AI detective basically has two ways of thinking. The first is unsupervised learning. This is kind of like its gut feeling mode. It just looks for anything that seems off, even if it's never seen that particular thing before. This is absolutely perfect for spotting those brand new zero-day attacks. Then you have supervised learning. This is the by-the-book mode. It's been trained on thousands of past cases, so it knows exactly what to look for when it comes to known types of threats.
And the whole process follows this really elegant 5-step flow. It all starts with collecting and standardizing data from literally everywhere. Then, the system enriches that data, adding context to make sense of it. Step 3 is where the real magic happens. This is where it learns and establishes that all-important baseline of what normal actually looks like. From there, it can spot anomalies in real time. And this part is so important, it learns from the feedback of human analysts, getting smarter and more accurate with every single incident.
Okay, so that's all great in theory, but does this AI detective actually get results? Well, the numbers really do speak for themselves, and honestly, they're staggering.
First up, 98%. Get this, that's the accuracy a well-tuned system can hit with known attacks. To put that into perspective, that's like a bloodhound that almost never, ever loses the scent. Your old rule-based systems, they can't even come close.
But what about all those false alarms we talked about, that alert fatigue? This is where it gets really good. These systems can slash false positives by up to 85%. Think about what that means. Your security team can finally stop chasing ghosts and focus on the actual real threats. It's not just a time saver, it's a complete game changer.
But look, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Even a genius detective needs the right kind of support. This technology is incredibly powerful, but it's not a silver bullet. So let's talk about what it actually takes to implement.
So, what does it take to get one of these AI detectives on your team? First off, you need good data. It's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out. Second, you have to keep it sharp. These models need to be retrained, sometimes as often as every 30 days, just to stay on top of their game as your environment changes. And finally, you can't just set it and forget it. It needs to be integrated into your team's existing workflow. A slow, gradual rollout is absolutely the key to success here.
And that leaves us with a pretty chilling thought, doesn't it? We've built this incredible detective that can spot any anomaly. But what if the criminals just learn to act normal? What if they use their own AI to blend in, to become completely invisible? Are we on the verge of an AI arms race, where the only thing that can stop a bad AI is a good one? That's the question that's going to define the entire future of cybersecurity.